demoing on Mr. Sid here. Sid's a 10-year-old standard poodle. We are using the brand new Andis Pulse Ion battery operated clipper. Very light. It's got an adjustable blade with 5 different lengths. It goes from a 9 down to a 40. We're going to do half of his face and we're going to set in his tail. And I'm using it on the 15 setting. What I really like about this clipper is I can get all my detail work done. I can get face, tail, feet, and belly done without this blade getting hot. And I can change it. We're going to change it when we get to the tail. So we're going to start with the side of the face. We're going to flip the ear back. It's nice and quiet. And we're just going to clean off this little flap of skin inside the ear. Oops. This is a prototype. This clipper will be out in the fall. Hold still. So we're just going to clean that piece off. So that we can set our line from the inside corner of the ear to the outside corner of the eye. You want to hold the skin tight, keep the ear out of the way, and set that line in. Clean that whole cheek off. Now you want a really crisp, clean line here because this is what sets your line for your top knot. So I usually hold the skin down just a little bit on the jawline and clip straight up. That makes this line very clean. Where you set the throat is determined by the dog's neck, the shape of the dog's neck. So it's got a very nice long neck. It comes out of his shoulders properly. When you get the dog in the tub, sometimes you'll see necks that come out the front and then they kind of arc up. That's called a U-neck. Or if the dog has just got a lot of fill in here, they're very thick, you can see it where the chest comes in. You want to go to the point where it's flat. You don't want, if you go down too low, it's going to make the neck look out of proportion. It's not going to look proper. You're just coming straight up the neck. You're clipping against the way the hair would lay naturally. And especially on some of these poodles with really curly hair, sometimes you have to clip in a lot of different directions so that it all is nice and short and even. Pull the ear out of the way and then it's a straight line down. And you want a nice, crisp, clean, crisp line because that will set your bevel in when you go to blend it much nicer. So there's the cheek. Now we're going to go from the inside corner of the eye to the end of the nose. Clean out all that hair. A poodle has a stop. They're supposed to have a stop, so you want to clean this out between the eyes. And it's an inverted V, and the top of the V shouldn't be any higher than the top of the eye. So you can just come in with your blade and just clip that out. You just go in with the point on both sides to set it and then just go in and clean it up. That helps give them more expression. If you leave that, or if you take a lot more out, it opens that eye up too much and it kind of destroys that poodle expression. They should look very mischievous. Poodle, you want that poodle to look like it's going to get into trouble. They're very intelligent dogs and you want them to look intelligent. You want to make sure you clean off the chin. And it's especially important that you get in here and clean the flu out. So that's where this adjustable blade comes in handy. I'm flipping it over to a 30 and I'm just going to go in a little shorter along that flu. If you don't get that cleaned out, food and debris gets caught in there and then the dogs end up with infections. There's your face. Half of it anyways. Hide that side. Then we're going to move on to his tail. The biggest thing I see when people are putting in their tail sets is they end up clipping too high up. So you have to set this right, because if you clip too high up, it throws the whole balance of the dog off. So you want to make sure you're starting from where the dog's tail meets the dog's body. And you can line up where to clip from the shoulders. So if you imagine a line, or use your comb from the highest point of the shoulders across, it shows you how high you're supposed to clip to on the pom-pom, or the palm on the tail. So you figure that out, and then I just take my blade and I go straight down until it can't go any farther. That way I know I've clipped all the way to the base of the tail. And I know there's a lot of, the old way of doing it was 3 fingers, 4 fingers, and that works if the dog's got a really nice tail set. The tail should come up at either 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and it should be set in the middle of this pelvis bone. Here's the top of it, where the hip is, and here's the pin bone underneath. So you want that tail to come out straight in the middle. If the dog doesn't have a great tail set, you kind of have to play with it. You might want to leave a little more hair back here to make it look higher, or take a little more off up here. Sid's got a really nice tail set. We don't have to fuss with it too much, but I do like to put a V in here. I find the spine and I follow it down to the base of the tail, and I take the corner of my clipper and clip out both ways. And that sets your V. Then all you have to do is, once you get it in, is just come in and clean it up. And again, another thing with these clippers, you can just change it down to a 30 or a 40, and you can set your bevel in. It just comes straight down, and that sets in. We're going to take his body shorter later, but it cleans it all up nicely for you, saves you scissoring time in the end. And that's our face and tail on the Poodle today. Thank you.